Welcome to the Stars of Wisdom, where we embark on a journey of personal growth and transformation. Today, we are diving deep into a question that has the power to change the way you live, work, and connect with the world. What is the secret to confident communication? You've probably heard the phrase, "It's not what you say, it's how you say it." But I'm here to tell you that it's so much more than that. Communication is not just the words we speak. It's an entire ecosystem of emotions, thoughts, and energy that flows between us and others. Whether you're at a dinner table, presenting to an audience, or engaging in a high-stakes meeting, the way you communicate dictates your success. But let's get real for a moment. Have you ever been in a situation where your heart races, your palms sweat, and your mind goes blank? Maybe you had something incredibly important to say, but the words just wouldn't come out. Or maybe you've stood before an audience, only to feel invisible, your voice drowned out by doubt. That's a feeling we all know too well. So what holds us back from speaking with confidence? What is it that makes us hesitate, second guess, or retreat into silence when we need to express ourselves the most? The answer isn't as simple as just be more confident, because confidence isn't a switch you turn on overnight. Confidence in communication is a skill, one that requires development, patience, and a deep understanding of both yourself and the world around you. And the best part, it can be learned, no matter where you are on your journey. Whether you're someone who struggles to find your voice in social settings, or someone who has a fear of public speaking, trust me when I say you have the power to transform the way you communicate. Today, we're going to unlock the key to confident communication, and we'll explore how you can start building this essential skill right now. I'll share psychological insights, powerful strategies, and real-world examples that will not only inspire you, but equip you with the tools to speak with authority, clarity, and influence. But here's the big question. Are you ready to take action? Are you prepared to step out of your comfort zone and conquer the fears that are holding you back from truly connecting with others? Because today, I'm challenging you to not just listen, but to take that first step towards mastering confident communication. The secret is not hidden in the world of perfect speakers or natural-born communicators. The secret is within you, and it's waiting to be unlocked. So sit tight, stay with me, and let's embark on this transformative journey. Let's begin. Section 1. Understanding confidence in communication. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the heart of the matter. What does it truly mean to be confident in communication? How can something so intangible, like confidence, become an actual skill that we can develop and apply in every interaction? Confidence is not a personality trait. It is a learned behavior. It's an ability to express ourselves clearly, assertively, and authentically in any situation, regardless of how we feel on the inside. It's the skill to communicate not only with words, but with body language, tone, energy, and emotional presence. Consider for a moment someone you admire for their communication skills. Maybe it's a politician, a leader, or even a friend. What is it about them that commands attention when they speak? Is it their eloquence, their clarity, or is it the energy they exude, a calm yet unwavering sense of assurance? You see, confidence in communication is about being in control of the message you send and how you send it. Confidence is more than just words. Let's think beyond the surface for a second. Confidence doesn't live in the words we speak. Words are simply the vehicle that delivers our message. Confidence lives in how we deliver those words. It's in the pace of our speech, the pauses we take to emphasize key points, and the tone that signals authority or empathy. Think of Steve Jobs, a man known not just for his groundbreaking work with Apple, but for his ability to communicate vision and inspire millions. During his legendary product launches, he didn't just deliver facts. He told stories that connected with people on an emotional level. His pauses were deliberate, his tone measured, and his body language confident yet approachable. He wasn't just sharing information, he was creating a sense of possibility. Confidence comes from the clarity with which you express your thoughts, the certainty with which you communicate your ideas, and the belief you have in the value of what you're saying. When you believe in the message you're delivering, others will believe in it too. It's as simple as that. The internal battle, overcoming doubt and fear. But let's get honest for a moment. While confident communication sounds empowering, the path to it is often riddled with self-doubt, fear of rejection, and an overwhelming desire for perfection. Many of us hold back, afraid that if we say the wrong thing, people will judge us. We've all had that voice in our heads telling us that we're not good enough, not smart enough, or not deserving enough to be heard. This fear of speaking, of being judged, or of making a mistake in public can be paralyzing. And this fear is universal. Take Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential communicators in history. Oprah was not born with the poise and confidence she exudes today. In fact, in her early years, she faced rejection after rejection, including being told she was too emotional for television. Yet she pressed on, learned from her experiences, and transformed herself into a beacon of empowerment and communication. Oprah once said, "I've come to believe that all my past failures and frustration were actually laying the foundation for the understandings that have created the new level of living I now enjoy." And that, my friends, is the heart of confident communication. Learning to rise above our fears and doubts and using them as stepping stones toward mastery. The power of presence, body language, tone, and eye contact. When it comes to communication, your body language speaks before your words ever do. Whether you're aware of it or not, your posture, gestures, and facial expressions communicate volumes about how confident you are. And the beauty is, you can train your body to communicate confidence even when your mind is struggling. Think about Nelson Mandela. When he addressed the world after his release from prison, he didn't just stand there and speak. He embodied his message of peace, unity, and strength. His posture was upright, his voice calm yet assertive, and his eye contact unwavering. Mandela knew that his presence spoke louder than any words could. In fact, research shows that body language contributes up to 55% of communication, while tone of voice accounts for 38%. That's a staggering 93% of how we communicate that has nothing to do with the words themselves. This means that if you are not consciously aware of your nonverbal communication, you could be undermining your confidence without even realizing it. By simply improving your posture, maintaining good eye contact, and adjusting your tone to match the weight of your words, you can project far more confidence than you think. Start with small steps. Stand tall, take a deep breath, and make sure your voice carries without rushing. These simple adjustments will make you appear more confident, and over time, your mind will follow suit. Confidence is built over time. Here's the powerful truth. Confidence in communication doesn't happen overnight. It is built piece by piece, with each conversation, each presentation, and each courageous step you take. The process of building confidence is gradual. It requires time, reflection, and a commitment to growth. Take J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before she became one of the wealthiest women in the world, Rowling faced rejection after rejection. Her manuscript was turned down by 12 publishers before it was finally accepted. Rowling has spoken openly about the deep self-doubt she felt, even when she was already a published author. Yet despite all the rejection and uncertainty, she persevered. Today, her name is synonymous with success. Rowling once said, "Rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life." She learned to believe in her voice and her story, and that belief in herself empowered her to confidently share her work with the world. Confidence is a journey, not a destination. So let's recap. Confidence in communication isn't a magical quality some people are born with. It is the result of time, practice, and a relentless belief in the value of what you have to say. It's about understanding that every conversation is an opportunity to grow, to connect, and to express yourself more fully. Start by embracing the idea that confidence is not perfection. It's the courage to speak up, to take risks, and to believe in the power of your own voice. The more you communicate, the more confidence will grow, and soon you'll be able to speak with the authority and presence you've always dreamed of. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start communicating with confidence. Start today. Take that first step and let your voice be heard. The world is waiting to listen to you. Section 2. The psychological mechanisms behind confident communication. Now that we understand what confidence in communication looks like, let's dig deeper into the psychological mechanisms that drive it. Why do some people communicate with ease, while others struggle with fear and self-doubt. What is happening inside our minds when we feel anxious about speaking? And how can we rewire these mental pathways to embrace confident communication? The key to understanding confident communication is rooted in psychology, particularly how our brains process fear, confidence, and social interactions. We are constantly navigating a delicate balance between our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. So, to become a more confident communicator, we need to understand how these psychological factors work, and more importantly, how we can leverage them to our advantage. The role of fear? Understanding the fight or flight response. At the heart of any fear-based reaction, whether you're nervous about public speaking, making small talk, or speaking up in a meeting, is the fight or flight response. This is an ancient survival mechanism that kicks in when we perceive a threat. When we feel threatened, our brains release a cocktail of hormones, primarily adrenaline and cortisol, that prepare us for either fighting or fleeing. This response, while vital in life-threatening situations, is often triggered by much less dangerous situations in modern life, like speaking in front of a group, or even just talking to a stranger. For many of us, public speaking or social interactions can feel like high-stakes scenarios, even if the stakes aren't as high as our brains perceive them. Understanding this response is crucial because it allows us to recognize that the anxiety we feel isn't necessarily a reflection of our abilities. It's simply our body reacting to a perceived threat. The problem arises when we let this fear dominate our thoughts and actions. We freeze, our voices quiver, and our bodies become tense because our brains are telling us that we're in danger, even when we're not. This is where the power of mindset comes into play. By learning to reframe these fears and respond with awareness rather than panic, we can gain control over our emotional reactions. As neuroscientist Dr. Richard Davidson once said, "The brain is capable of change, and the mind is an incredible tool for creating new neural patterns." The power of self-talk, shaping our confidence. One of the most powerful tools for overcoming communication anxiety is self-talk, the internal dialogue that shapes our perceptions of ourselves and our abilities. If you're like most people, your inner voice tends to be your biggest critic. You might tell yourself things like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll mess up," or "no one will listen to me." These negative thoughts reinforce the fear and doubt we feel about communicating. But here's the truth. Self-talk is not reality. It's simply the narrative you've been telling yourself based on past experiences or fears. You are not your thoughts. You have the power to rewrite this narrative, and with practice, you can train your mind to replace those self-limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Take Michael Jordan, for example. Widely considered the greatest basketball player of all time, Jordan's career wasn't without its challenges. He was cut from his high school basketball team, failed countless times on the court, and faced criticism from the media. Yet his self-talk was a driving force in his success. Jordan once said, "I can accept failure. Everyone fails at something. But I can't accept not trying." His ability to quiet the inner critic and push forward with determination is a perfect example of how powerful self-talk can be in overcoming self-doubt and achieving confidence. By consciously replacing negative self-talk with positive affirmations, such as, "I am prepared," "I have something valuable to share," and "I trust myself," you can begin to rewire your brain's response to fear. Your mind will follow the direction you set for it. Social anxiety and its impact on communication. Another important psychological factor that can hinder confident communication is social anxiety, a condition that affects millions of people worldwide. Social anxiety is rooted in the fear of being judged or rejected by others. It leads us to constantly evaluate how we are perceived, often to the point where it paralyzes us in social situations. This intense focus on judgment can make us second-guess our every word and gesture. But here's the good news. Social anxiety can be managed and reduced. The first step is understanding that it's not the actual conversation that causes the anxiety, it's the anticipation of the conversation. The anxiety often peaks before we even open our mouths. Our brains jump to worst-case scenarios, assuming we will embarrass ourselves, and we let those fears dictate our behavior. But in reality, most of these fears are unfounded. Consider Emma Watson, the British actress best known for playing Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter series. Despite being a public figure with millions of fans, Watson has openly discussed her struggles with social anxiety. In fact, she admits that even during her early years of fame, she would get nervous speaking in front of large crowds or on camera. Yet, through personal development, therapy, and facing her fears, she learned to manage her anxiety and become a more confident communicator. Watson once said, "It took me a long time to get to this point, but I feel now that I can speak up for myself and others." Emma Watson's journey highlights an important truth. Facing your fears, no matter how daunting, is the key to overcoming social anxiety. The more you push yourself to engage in conversations, even when you feel nervous, the easier it becomes over time. And the more you speak, the more your confidence will grow. Rewiring your brain, neuroplasticity, and confidence. Now that we've explored fear, self-talk, and social anxiety, let's talk about something truly empowering: neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. This means that you can actually change the way your brain responds to communication challenges. In other words, you can train your brain to become more confident. Just like any muscle, the more you exercise your brain in specific ways, the stronger it becomes. By regularly exposing yourself to situations where you need to communicate, whether that's speaking up in meetings, engaging in public speaking, or simply having more conversations, you're strengthening your brain's neural pathways related to communication and confidence. The famous psychologist Carol Dweck, who popularized the concept of the growth mindset, explains this perfectly. She says, "The view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life." When you approach communication as a skill that can be improved, rather than as something you're either born with or not, you begin to see progress. This shift in mindset allows you to embrace mistakes, learn from them, and continue moving forward without getting stuck in self-doubt. The more you practice, the more your brain will wire itself for confident communication. Reprogram your mind, reclaim your voice. In conclusion, the psychological mechanisms behind confident communication are powerful but not permanent. Fear, self-doubt, and anxiety are simply mental patterns that can be changed. With the right mindset, positive self-talk, and consistent practice, you can reprogram your brain to become more confident in how you communicate. The journey towards confident communication starts in your mind. You have the power to overcome your fears, quiet the inner critic, and embrace a new narrative. As you face those uncomfortable moments, remember, every step you take to challenge yourself is a step toward becoming the confident communicator you were meant to be. Start today. Rewire your brain, reclaim your voice, and communicate with the confidence you deserve. The world is waiting for you to speak. Section 3. Personal development techniques for building confidence. We've explored the psychological mechanisms behind confident communication, and now it's time to get practical. How can you actively build and strengthen your confidence in communication? This section is all about actionable steps you can take today to start building the confidence you need to speak up, connect with others, and influence the world around you. The good news? Confidence is a skill, not an innate trait. And like any skill, it can be developed through consistent practice, effort, and commitment. So, let's dive into some powerful personal development techniques that will help you build unshakable confidence in communication, starting right now. The power of visualization. See it before you say it. One of the most effective techniques for building confidence is visualization. The practice of mentally rehearsing a scenario before it happens. If you've ever heard of athletes visualizing their performance before a game or competition, you've already encountered the power of this technique. But the power of visualization isn't limited to athletes. It can be incredibly useful in preparing for any form of communication. Before a presentation, speech, or important conversation, take a few minutes to close your eyes and visualize yourself communicating confidently. See yourself speaking clearly, engaging with your audience, and feeling calm and in control. Imagine the positive reactions you receive, the nodding heads, the attentiveness, the respect. The more vivid the visualization, the more your brain begins to train for success in the real situation. This technique has been shown to improve performance by boosting self-confidence and reducing anxiety. This is exactly what Jim Carrey, the famous actor and comedian, did early in his career. Before he became a household name, Carey visualized himself becoming a successful actor. He would drive up to the Hollywood Hills, sit in his car, and visualize himself receiving an Academy Award. He even wrote himself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, dated Thanksgiving 1995. Carey's belief in his own vision manifested in reality, and he credits his success in part to the practice of visualizing his future. By visualizing yourself speaking with confidence, you begin to rewire your brain, reducing fear and building belief in your abilities. Start using visualization daily, and you'll notice a powerful shift in how you approach communication challenges. Power poses. Physiology drives confidence. One of the most effective ways to instantly boost your confidence is by changing your body language. Your body doesn't just reflect your feelings, it can also influence your feelings. Amy Cuddy, a social psychologist, introduced the concept of power posing, where adopting confident body language can actually lead to a boost in confidence and even increase your chances of success. The idea behind power posing is simple. When you adopt expansive, open postures, your body sends signals to your brain that you are in control. This, in turn, triggers a cascade of physical and emotional changes that help you feel more confident and assertive. For example, try standing tall with your feet shoulder-width apart, your chest open, and your hands on your hips, like a superhero. Hold this pose for 2 minutes. Research shows that this simple stance can increase your levels of testosterone, the power hormone, and decrease cortisol, the stress hormone, making you feel more powerful and less anxious. Barack Obama, one of the most confident public speakers of our time, was known to use power poses before important speeches or meetings. His open, grounded stance, paired with a strong, clear voice, became his signature. Obama's confidence wasn't simply a product of his speech content. It was also about how he physically positioned himself in front of the world. Next time you need to communicate with confidence, try adopting a power pose before entering the room or taking the stage. It's a simple technique with profound effects. Practice, 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 the path to mastery. No technique in the world can replace the power of deliberate practice. If you want to become a confident communicator, you must practice, often and consistently. The more you practice communicating, the more comfortable and skilled you will become. And just like any skill, practice brings mastery. Start by setting small, achievable goals for yourself. If you're new to public speaking or engaging in difficult conversations, begin with low-pressure situations. Speak up in meetings or engage in casual conversations with friends and colleagues. Gradually increase the level of difficulty. Speak to larger groups, engage in tough discussions, or even challenge yourself to speak in front of a crowd. The more you practice, the more your confidence will grow. This principle was key to the success of Ellen DeGeneres, one of the most well-known talk show hosts in the world. Ellen's early years in comedy were filled with failures, awkward moments, and rejections. But she didn't let that stop her. She continued performing stand-up comedy, refining her delivery, and honing her communication skills, which eventually made her the confident communicator she is today. Ellen once said, "Follow your passion. Stay true to yourself. Never follow someone else's path unless you're in the woods and you're lost and you see a path. By all means, you should follow that." Consistent practice not only builds skill, but also helps you push through your fear and doubts. Over time, the more you face those nerves, the less power they'll have over you. Feedback and reflection. Learning from every interaction. Feedback is another critical component of building confidence. We all have blind spots, areas where we're not fully aware of how we come across to others. Seeking feedback and reflecting on your communication experiences is one of the fastest ways to improve. After any conversation or presentation, take a moment to ask yourself, how did I feel? What worked well? What could I improve on next time? Be honest with yourself about where you can improve, and don't be afraid to ask for feedback from trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues. Constructive feedback helps you identify areas of growth and gives you the confidence that you're actively improving. Take Bill Gates, for example. Despite being one of the most successful entrepreneurs in history, Gates was known for his willingness to accept feedback and continuously improve his communication. He even took courses in public speaking, despite his natural introversion. Gates once said, "We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. This mindset of constant self-improvement allowed him to refine his ability to communicate his ideas clearly and powerfully over time. The power of mindfulness, staying present in the moment. Confidence in communication is not just about thinking positive thoughts or visualizing success. It's also about being fully present in the moment. The more present you are, the more you can focus on the conversation at hand, rather than getting caught up in self-doubt or worrying about how others perceive you. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and deep breathing, help you clear your mind of distractions and quiet the internal chatter that fuels anxiety. When you focus on the present moment, you can tune into the conversation and respond more naturally, with confidence and clarity. Steve Jobs, once again, is an excellent example of someone who understood the power of mindfulness. In his famous product launches, Jobs didn't just rely on his charisma, he was also deeply present in those moments, engaging fully with his message and the audience. His ability to focus and remain calm under pressure made his communication appear effortless. Commit to continuous growth and practice. Building confidence in communication is a lifelong journey, one that requires consistent effort, practice, and dedication. There's no quick fix, but there are powerful tools at your disposal to accelerate your progress. Visualization, power poses, deliberate practice, feedback, and mindfulness are all proven techniques that, when applied together, can transform you into a confident, skilled communicator. The more you practice these techniques, the more you will grow, not only as a communicator, but as a person. And as your confidence grows, so too will your ability to influence, inspire, and lead. Start today. Choose one technique from this section and commit to practicing it daily. With every step forward, you'll unlock more of your potential. The world needs your voice. The more you embrace your own communication power, the more you'll be able to change your world and the world around you. Section 4. Real-life example of confident communication. In the previous sections, we've explored the theory, psychology, and techniques behind building confidence in communication. Now, let's bring it all to life with real-world examples that illustrate the power of confident communication in action. These examples will not only inspire you, but also give you tangible proof that with the right mindset and techniques, anyone can develop this essential skill. Let's take a look at 3 individuals who mastered the art of confident communication, despite facing significant challenges. These people show us that, no matter where you start, you can always cultivate the confidence to speak powerfully and authentically. Oprah Winfrey, overcoming adversity to inspire the world. Oprah Winfrey's journey to becoming one of the most influential communicators in history is nothing short of remarkable. Oprah's early life was fraught with adversity. She grew up in poverty, experienced sexual abuse, and faced constant discrimination. Yet despite these challenges, she found her voice, and in doing so, became a beacon of hope, wisdom, and inspiration for millions of people around the world. But here's the thing about Oprah's confidence. It didn't come naturally. In fact, she struggled with self-doubt and fear of failure for much of her early career. During her first stint as a TV news anchor, Oprah was told she was too emotional for the role. But rather than letting that criticism crush her, she used it as fuel to redefine her path. Oprah's authenticity, vulnerability, and deep empathy became her signature. Oprah's ability to communicate with authenticity and vulnerability is what sets her apart as a true master of confident communication. She didn't shy away from her struggles. Instead, she leaned into them. Her confidence stemmed from owning her story, not hiding from it. And this made her not only relatable, but also an inspiring role model for millions. One of Oprah's most famous quotes is, "What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have." Oprah's confidence was built on speaking her truth, connecting with others on a deeply human level, and sharing her message with courage and compassion. She continues to inspire millions by showing that true confidence comes not from being perfect, but from being real and owning your voice. Nelson Mandela, leading with confidence, despite years of oppression. Another extraordinary example of confident communication comes from the life of Nelson Mandela, a man who, despite being imprisoned for 27 years, managed to change the course of history with his powerful communication. Mandela was a symbol of resilience, dignity, and unshakable commitment to justice. When he was released from prison in 1990, Mandela's confidence was not derived from physical strength or the desire for revenge. Rather, it came from his unwavering belief in the power of dialogue and reconciliation. He understood that in order to heal a divided nation, he would need to communicate with courage, humility, and vision. His calm, measured tone and thoughtful words helped bring people together and set South Africa on a path toward peaceful transition. Mandela's ability to speak with empathy, authority, and moral clarity made him an international figure of respect and admiration. Even during moments of extreme pressure, whether it was negotiating with political adversaries or addressing his people, he communicated with remarkable poise and confidence. One of Mandela's most powerful speeches came when he was inaugurated as South Africa's first black president in 1994. He said, "I have walked that long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can only rest for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk is not ended." In this speech, Mandela communicated the heart of his leadership philosophy: confident communication rooted in humility, vision, and responsibility. He was not just speaking to his people. He was connecting with them on a level that transcended words. His message of reconciliation and forgiveness resonated deeply with everyone who heard it because it was authentic, inspiring, and rooted in the human desire for peace. Elon Musk, mastering the art of visionary communication. Now, let's take a look at someone from the modern business world. Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and several other ventures. Musk is a polarizing figure, but what cannot be denied is his ability to communicate his vision with such clarity and conviction that it motivates people to join him on his ambitious missions. From the beginning of his career, Musk communicated with immense confidence in his ideas, even when they were seen as far-fetched by many. In 2002, when he founded SpaceX with the goal of making space travel affordable, many people thought he was insane. He faced skepticism, ridicule, and financial struggle. But Musk communicated his vision so powerfully that he not only attracted top talent, but also convinced investors that his ideas were worth backing. Musk's confidence in communication lies in his ability to simplify complex ideas and present them with conviction. When Musk speaks about the future, whether it's about colonizing Mars or creating sustainable energy, he does so with unwavering belief that these are not just pipe dreams, but real, achievable goals. He has often said, "I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary." This belief in the extraordinary potential of people is central to his communication style. Musk doesn't just speak, he inspires others to take action. Whether he's on stage at a Tesla launch event or giving an interview, Musk exudes a level of confidence and vision that compels others to listen, follow, and invest in his ideas. Malala Yousafzai, speaking up for change against all odds. Finally, let's consider the remarkable story of Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Malala's story is one of immense courage and confident communication. At just 15 years old, she was shot by the Taliban for advocating for girls' education in Pakistan. Despite facing death threats and personal attacks, Malala's message never wavered. After recovering from the attack, Malala spoke to the United Nations, delivering a powerful speech that would inspire the world. Her confidence was rooted in her belief in the right of every child to an education, and she communicated this belief with extraordinary poise and courage. In her UN speech, Malala said, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world." These words encapsulated her unwavering confidence in the power of education, even in the face of incredible adversity. Her communication was not just about speaking out against injustice, it was about empowering others to speak up and take action. Malala's example shows that confidence in communication doesn't require a loud voice, it requires the courage to speak for what is right, even when the odds are stacked against you. The power of confident communication. These examples, from Oprah Winfrey's vulnerability to Mandela's calm authority, Musk's visionary clarity, and Malala's courageous voice, demonstrate that confident communication is not about being perfect. It's about speaking with purpose, authenticity, and a belief in your message. The power of confident communication comes not from avoiding mistakes, but from having the courage to speak up, stay true to your vision, and make an impact. Whether you're leading a nation, inspiring a global movement, or building a tech empire, the ability to communicate with confidence is a skill that will propel you toward your goals. No matter where you start, you can cultivate the confidence to speak with power and influence. Take a moment to reflect. What message do you want to communicate? What vision do you have that the world needs to hear? With the right mindset, tools, and techniques, you too can become a confident communicator who inspires, leads, and makes a difference. Start today, because your voice has the power to change the world. Section 6. Conclusion. We've journeyed through the psychological foundations of confident communication, learned practical techniques to build confidence, and examined real-life examples of individuals who have mastered the art of speaking with authority and authenticity. But now, let's bring it all together and take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways from today's discussion. Confident communication is not a skill that's reserved for a select few. It's a skill that anyone can develop. Whether you're a student, an entrepreneur, a leader, or someone simply trying to make a difference in your community, the power of confident communication can elevate you to new heights. The ability to express yourself clearly, assertively, and authentically is an indispensable tool for success in every area of life. From Oprah to Mandela, Musk to Malala, we've seen that confident communication is not about being born with a natural gift. It's about nurturing a skill that evolves over time. Confidence comes from preparation, practice, and believing in the importance of your message. If you're looking to improve your communication skills, start by adopting the techniques we've discussed: visualization, power poses, deliberate practice, feedback, and mindfulness. These practices will help you gradually build confidence, step by step, until you can communicate with authority, clarity, and passion in any situation. It's normal to feel nervous before speaking in front of a group or having an important conversation. But understanding that failure is a part of the process is key to overcoming this fear. Just as Nelson Mandela faced years of imprisonment without losing his vision, or Elon Musk endured setbacks with SpaceX and Tesla, you too can embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Confidence is built on the foundation of resilience. Each time you step up to communicate, even if you make mistakes, you're one step closer to mastery. Remember that the world's most successful communicators didn't get there by avoiding failure. They got there by embracing it, learning from it, and pressing forward with greater determination. One of the most profound truths from today's discussion is that your voice has the power to create change. Whether it's sharing your ideas at a team meeting, delivering a keynote speech, or simply voicing your opinion to friends and family, your ability to communicate confidently has the potential to inspire, lead, and make a difference. It doesn't matter where you start, whether you're just beginning to find your voice or you've already had some success in speaking with confidence. The key is to keep refining your communication skills and using them to create a positive impact. The more you practice, the more powerful your voice will become. The most important takeaway from today is this: the journey to becoming a confident communicator starts with action. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment, and you certainly don't need to feel like you've mastered everything before you begin. Start with small, consistent steps. Visualize your success. Stand tall and adopt powerful body language. Seek feedback and reflect on your progress. Keep practicing, no matter how difficult it seems. If you take action today, you'll be amazed at the progress you can make in a short time. Confidence is a muscle, and like any muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Confident communication isn't just about you. It's about the impact you can have on others. When you communicate confidently, you inspire others to take action. You influence the decisions of your team, your organization, and your community. You help create change and bring ideas to life. As we wrap up today's discussion, I want to leave you with this thought. What would your life look like if you fully embraced your ability to communicate with confidence? How would it change your career, your relationships, your ability to lead and influence? The world is waiting for your voice, and the time to speak with confidence is now. So take the lessons you've learned today and put them into practice. The more you do, the more you'll realize that you have the power to shape your own story, inspire others, and lead with purpose. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. Start speaking with confidence today, and watch as the doors to success open wide before you. Because the world needs more people like you, people who aren't afraid to speak their truth, share their ideas, and lead with clarity and conviction. Your journey to confident communication begins today. Now, go out and show the world what you're capable of.